There is a dark place one can travel in between hope and the promise, a place where there is no light, only darkness, a place where no words get spoken, no whisper. Your only guide is the Word of God, a compass, a map, a path unto itself, where hidden wisdom becomes your lamp and guides you to your kingdom purpose. Relationship built on surrender becomes your translator, and the ancient word spoken springs forth as a narrow path of truth, a candlestick for the righteous. Many never get past this in-between place of promise to purpose. Instead, they fold under the pressure of the unknown and plant themselves too soon, only to settle for less than God's best for them. If they had just waited in the darkness a little longer, the uncomfortable unknown, then they would have arrived at the point where timing meets purpose and an ignition in the spirit realm would have occurred. A spark to the flame of purpose and kingdom building revelation. Instead, they stop just short of all God has for them. Settle in a field, a land not of God's choosing, where there is no peace, only confusion and distraction. The counterfeit looks great on the surface, but years later, they realize they never entered into all God had for them. They quit just short of the promised land, the kingdom road, because they were too weary to continue. They decided in their own strength and their own wisdom, they would just quit, stop right there, plant right there. But God had more. Will you push through weariness and defeat, darkness and the unseen? That waiting period, and push on and fight for God's best? Warrior, will you fight a little longer? Warrior, will you rise? Warrior, will you conquer? Warrior, will you ignite the fire of a global awakening by following the supernatural path of promise, even though the way is dark and the only light you see is the light of the candle burning, where the Word of God was penned by warriors like yourself, striving to follow the knowing in their heart on the path to the more. Look at the pioneers of faith, pillars of light and truth that burned bright for a dark world to see. Will you fight on to get to the finish line, removing all hindrances, barriers, and distractions so you can focus on being that light? So you become the very light you are seeking as you mesh and become one with the light of truth. Jesus, will you keep on going as He reveals Himself to you more and more through this waiting period, from promise to fulfillment, this dark place? I'm asking, He's asking, will you give Him more of you even though you thought you'd given it all, left it all on the field? Will you die for Jesus? At some point, you have to make a decision. To die is gain, but to live is Christ. At that moment, that's when it will happen. The more, the breakthrough, the hidden becomes revealed, and the confusion becomes clarity, and the peaceful river of revealed truth calms the turbulent waters of doubt, and you know you have arrived to the promised shore of alignment spiritually, and you did not drown in the sorrow of waiting, in the dark place of silence in between the promise and the fulfillment. You survived. You endured. You persevered. You fought the good fight of faith. You waited in the darkness, not drowning, but knowing your Savior lives inside of you and is bringing you to where you need to be. You focused on Him. You've died to self. You've given up everything to follow Him. And I mean everything. Everything to follow Him. At that moment, will you give it just a little more time? Will you give Him just a little bit more of you? Will you say, nevertheless, not my will be done, but yours, O God? Will you enter into that level of submission and surrender and say, nevertheless, not my will be done, but yours, O God. I give it all to you, God. I leave it all on the field, God. I strive for more. I fight for more. I persevere for more. I endure for more. Glory be to Jesus. Glory be to Jesus. Glory be to Jesus.